In this Star Wars Hunters news update video, I will be showing you everything included in Season 5. The update has just gone live. We have the Coruscant Underworld map, a new hunter, and so much more. Before we do dive into everything though, make sure you do subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any future news updates on Star Wars Hunters. So, in case you aren't aware, today was supposed to be the day that the PC version of the game did launch, but as I mentioned in my previous Hunters video, the second playtest was cancelled and the release of the PC version was pushed back from the launch day of Season 5 to an unknown date. We still don't actually have any date for when the PC version will come, but it will happen at some point, but again, we just don't know when exactly, unfortunately. Despite the disappointment in that though, Season 5 is a huge season for Star Wars Hunters, and let's get started by taking a look at the brand new Coruscant Underworld map. I've been able to play 2 matches of this map so far, so I will be showing you gameplay of those 2 matches during this video, and that's what you are seeing on screen right now. And what you can see is that this map is not only very good looking, but also chaotic. It is not very huge in size, but there is some verticality to it, which leads to you falling to your death if you aren't careful. And then there is a center point, just a square platform where people group up and it is chaos, with abilities going, blaster fire, all sorts of stuff. It's crazy, and it gets quite intense and does reduce the frame rate, at least on my S23 Ultra, by quite a bit. The map is clearly inspired by the Jedi Survivor Coruscant Underworld level that we got in that game. You can see there is a lot of resemblance to various assets from that game, and it just looks fantastic overall. The lighting, the colour scheme, the asset quality is really high, and there are some nice Easter eggs here and there. You can see Dex, who is on a hologram. There is also Flo, the waitress from Attack of the Clones, on a piece of graffiti and more. There is just little bits here and there, tons of Aurebesh to translate as well. There is some really cool little references that I think people will be very happy with. And to be honest, all of the maps they've put out since this game got a global launch have been fantastic. They've had some great, cool Star Wars stuff going on, and this map is yet another one. I'm not sure if it's going to be as good to play on because, like I said, it's very chaotic, but if you are into this, then you're going to be pleased with it. Tons of zip lines as well, which certainly makes getting around the map interesting. Moving on to Season 5's new hunter, and this is Glicken, who is a Kubaz, the same species that we see that Imperial Spy is in A New Hope. Glicken is a damage hunter with stealth capabilities, so his primary weapon are his dual vibro blades, and these deal high damage but have very short range. Glicken's first 2 attacks deal melee damage, and the final attack deals increased combo damage. Glicken's stealth ability allows him to go invisible for a short duration, and if Glicken does take damage, he will be briefly revealed. And when in stealth, Glicken's next attack on the enemy deals a percentage of the maximum health as critical damage. His slash and dash ability allows him to jolt into battle, slicing enemies in his path before disappearing into the shadows. And he also has a blade launch as well, so he's not completely useless at anything that isn't close range. And this allows you to fire blades that can hit enemies with deadly precision. And his ultimate is Caltrops Field, so it allows Glicken to throw a field of spiky Caltrops that slow enemies down and deal heavy damage if they do move. In terms of cosmetics this season, there is almost another 200 new cosmetics that have been added to the game. So there are 34 costumes, 34 weapon wraps, 38 avatars, 50 stickers, 15 victory poses, and 21 emotes. Of course, these will be distributed through the Arena Pass, Arena Vaults, bundles, and events. Let's now talk about game modes, which is getting something quite significant. So, there is a brand new game mode that has been added in Season 5, and it's called Grandstand. This is a PvE game mode. That's right, it is no longer just going to be a PvP game. You are going to be playing against AI in the game with other players. So basically, you can choose the difficulty between easy, medium, or hard, and at higher difficulties, the enemies will get some behavioural improvements as well as some balance changes to ensure that they challenge even the best players with the most modded hunter. More details on mods later. So if you don't want to play against real players, you now have this option available to you. A new Holo Arcade game mode is also coming in Season 5, so it's called Snipe and Sneak, and this is between Glicken and Diego. So these two hunters will have slightly rebalanced kits, battling it out in Squad Brawl. So who's going to win? Glicken with his Vibro Blades and Stealth, or Diego and his Sniper? Trophy Chase has also undergone a major change. You are now going to be able to use ziplines whilst carrying Trophy. Now, this was actually implemented in Season 4, I'm pretty sure, alongside with the ability to carry the Hut Ball with ziplines, but for some reason they've just mentioned this in the Season 5 patch notes, even though it was part of Season 4, technically. The next thing we will talk about is, on the face, not good. Pay-to-win mechanics have been implemented into the game. To what extent, how bad this will be, we just don't know at this moment in time, because the update has just gone live and we need time to figure out what this is. So they've introduced a new system called mods, and this is a new item that can be earned from the main event and the arena pass, and bought with a currency called chips. Mods will change a hunter's combat stats and can be used to power up your hunter or encourage different ways to play. Mods will come in 3 rarities: rare, epic, and legendary. All hunters will launch with 9 unique mods, 3 with each rarity, and each hunter can be equipped with up to 3 mods each. Mods do modify gameplay elements such as hunter's health, movement speed, reload duration, weapon spread, weapon recoil damage, and more. For example, rare mods will add a single increment for specific stats such as health, damage, recoil, stamina, damage fall off distance, and more. Epic mods can provide 2 smaller modifications to stats, and they may provide a larger change but with an additional trade-off. For example, you may have to sacrifice health for longer damage increase. And the same goes for legendary. An example given is sacrifice a portion of health for large damage increase. Each of the 3 mod slots will unlock using different requirements. So mod slot 1, you just have to play 10 games. Mod slot 2, you need a roster rating of 30. And mod slot 3, you need a roster rating of 150. I'll have more details on the roster rating system, which is a new thing, a little bit later in this video. Whilst this is technically pay to win, there are some drawbacks to the better mods. So there is some balancing going on there. It's not completely like if you get a legendary thing, there is no drawback. However, the reason why this has come is because people aren't spending money on the game and they need whales to effectively pump this game to keep it going for the next foreseeable future, because it's just not making money. Cosmetics just aren't interesting to a lot of mobile gamers for whatever reason. They want pay-to-win elements, they like that. That's why all of the most successful mobile games are pay-to-win games. In terms of a Star Wars example, Galaxy of Heroes, cosmetic stuff, they just don't care, even though this game has some really fantastic cosmetics, some of the best cosmetics we've seen in Star Wars games. They do go on to say they are listening to feedback on mods, and additional mods will be added in future updates. As with Hunter Balance, existing mods will also be balanced from season to season. I sincerely hope that this is not going to turn this game into a massively pay-to-win game. It seems like it might have to be necessary to keep this game alive, but I disagree with pay-to-win elements anyway, so we'll just have to wait and see how this goes over the next coming days. In terms of chips, which are used to buy mods, this is a new currency, so chips are earned in multiple areas of the game. You'll find them in the Arena Pass, events, and more. If the same mod is earned a second time, it will automatically convert into chips, and chips can be used to purchase mods from the mod screen. Now let's talk about changes made to existing content in the game. So the Mos Esper Pod Race and Ewok Village maps have been removed from the game because they have been in the game since soft launch at the very beginning. So to give a better rotation for the newer maps, to keep things fresh and exciting, they've decided to take them out of both casual and ranked rotations. So it means you're going to be able to play the newer maps, which are, I would say, better maps anyway, but I do quite like that Mos Esper Pod Race map. That said, I hope they do come back at some point, and they aren't completely removed forever. Now let's talk about that new roster rating thing I discussed. So, in the previous versions of the game, the player level system was capped at 50, but it has been replaced with an uncapped symbol of your hunter's skill and experience. The roster rating is the sum of all of your unlocked hunter's levels, totaled up, and if you unlock and level up your hunters to boost your rating, and that's how you're going to show you have a better roster than other people. On to balance changes for the hunters, and we'll start with Amara Vex, who has seen a bit of a nerf. Her fire rate and recoil has increased, for example. As for Pillbush, which is the hunter that has just been added to the Hunter's Path, so if you did not purchase the Season Pass that Pillbush was in Season 3, you are now able to unlock her for free just by simply playing the game. But she has been considered quite overpowered by the community over the past couple of seasons, so we are seeing some nerfs here. As for Nox, who was considered overpowered as well, who came in Season 4 last season, she has also seen some improvement to her poison spread shot. So her draw time and such has actually been reduced, but the damage has been reduced, so it's going to be less deadly, but is going to be more viable based on the frequency of it. Jedi has received a huge stamina buff, so as for Jedi, he has seen a massive buff when it comes to stamina, so all of his level 6 buffs are now the base at level 1, and then they go up in increments, which is cool to see. So he's going to be able to deflect and do more lightsaber swings far more than ever before. Similar stuff can be said about Reeve as well, so she has also had her stamina regeneration set from level 6 down to level 1, so she can also get better that way as well. It makes the lightsaber heroes much more viable. Slingshot, meanwhile, has seen nerfs across the board with a couple of buffs here and there, but overall he's going to deal less damage for the various levels you have for Scatterboom and Explosive Shield. Char has also seen a mix of nerfs and buffs, and from what I'm gathering, many of the progression changes for the various levels from 1 to 6 have changed to accommodate mods. Chaos has also seen a nerf when it comes to her shoulder-mounted blaster, and the Sprocket rework is also available. I've already showcased this in my previous video when the PC playtest came out, so this is something I've already covered, so I'm not going to go in depth too much, but basically the targeting droid, drone defense, and med beacon abilities have been replaced with an improved healing droid ability, a smaller compact turret, and the ultimate turret has also been improved as well. You can also find loads of other general changes that have been made to the game, pretty much all improvements you can see right here. In terms of its mechanics, things have just been cleaned up and feel more polished. As for the main event, this is considered the biggest, baddest and most brutal competition to come to the arena. There will be a Clash event, which is Kings of Crime. There will be the Chain event, Dark Side Detective, a seasonal event called Battlefield Crush, and there will also be a Skeleton Crew inspired event. It's called Join the Crew, and you'll be hearing tales of Vane, Hondo, Gorin Shard, and even Maz Kanata. Inspired by these tales, we'll see Groz and Zaina decide to have a pirate adventure of their own. If you join this event, you can check out the store with some themed cosmetics from Skeleton Crew, which I am showing you on screen right now. There will also be some new quests, so there are new introductory quests for mastering each hunter's gameplay and abilities. Hunter Fame Grant has changed, so previously you were only able to select Fame in terms of increments of 800 or all your fame. You are now going to be able to spend the exact fame required to level up, or any amount under the required amount, and then also all fame, so that is a nice change as well. Though due to this change they have actually reduced how much hunter fame you will be getting, so you can see right here that there is just going to be a reduction in how much hunter you can get per game, which is a shame. The ranked season has also seen some changes as well, so this is a comparison between last season and this season on what points you'll get for, say, winning or losing for the various leagues. So that's Season 5 of Star Wars Hunters. It's out right now, you can download it. The Arena Pass and such does not actually go live until tomorrow, so you can't play as Glicken just yet. But you can play the Coruscant Underworld map, which I've shown you in this video, among other things, and it's pretty cool to see that this game is still getting plenty of support despite how little money it seems to be bringing in. There is going to be pay-to-win elements now, more so than just having a hunter in a season pass is not a good look for a game that's already been trashed in the media and reviewers for being a mobile Star Wars game. This game had fairly nice monetization, too nice for the mobile gaming space, so much so that they did actually implement loot boxes in the previous game, but that was in the previous season, but that was purely just for cosmetics. Now we are dealing with gameplay changing modifiers that you can earn in-game but also pay for. We really do need to just be cautious and see how this does affect the game over the next coming days and weeks. Once the game comes out on PC, I think we will see a much bigger difference with these mods, and I think it will cause more of an issue. I hope I'm wrong, but I think things will need to be changed drastically. I would love to hear your thoughts on anything I've talked about in this video, so please do let me know down in the comment section below, and remember to drop a like to help support the channel, subscribe so you don't miss any future Star Wars Hunters videos, and if you did miss any of my previous videos, click on the playlist on screen right now, and I shall see you in my next video. Goodbye.